Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. Jesus departed from there and came to his native place, accompanied by his disciples. When the Sabbath came, he began to teach in the synagogue, and many who heard him were astonished. They said, "Where did this man get all this? What kind of wisdom has been given to him? What mighty deeds are wrought by his hands? Is he not the carpenter, the son of Mary, and the brother of James and Joseph and Judas and Simon? And are not his sisters here with us?" And they took offense at him. Jesus said to them, "A prophet is not without honor except in his native place, and among his own kin, and in his own house." So he was not able to perform any mighty deed there, apart from curing a few sick people by laying his hands on them. He was amazed at their lack of faith. The Gospel of the Lord.
I wasn't going to do this, but I had some quotes here and on just patriotic kind of quotes or things like that. And so I thought, why not? Let's just read a couple of them because they're really good. This is Thomas Jefferson. "My God, how little do countrymen know what precious blessings they are in possession of, and which no other people on earth enjoy." Isn't that about right? Yeah. How about, here's a good one. Abraham Lincoln, "Those who deny freedom to others deserve it not for themselves." I remember growing up how we always thought, I'll fight for the right of you to disagree with me. Isn't that what we used to say? Yeah. I disagree with you, but I'll go to war just to make sure you have the right to disagree back. Here's one of my favorites for the day. Irma Bombeck. She says, "You have to love a nation that celebrates its independence every July 4th, not with a parade of guns and tanks and soldiers who file by the White House in a show of strength and muscle, but with, what? Family picnics, where kids throw frisbees, potato salad gets iffy, and the flies die from happiness. You may think you've overeaten, but it's patriotism." That's a pretty cool country, isn't it? Or that's how we celebrate our freedom. Here's Bill Clinton. "There's nothing wrong with America that can't be cured by what is right with America." That's pretty close too, isn't it? You want me to even it up? You want one from Ronald Reagan? Here's one. "Republicans believe every day is the 4th of July, but Democrats believe every day is April 15th. Ouch. Let's stop there. I was visiting Art Pratt today. Anyone know Art Pratt? Art's like over 90 years old now. He always sat in the back since I've been here, but he hasn't been here in a couple years. He's just too old and can't come to Mass. I don't know how old he is, 90-something. But he was like a union leader, and this Democrat, very political, knows the presidents and all that kind of thing. He's just Flint of the past altogether. And whenever I would see Art, I'd go back in the back and say, "How you doing, Art?" He'd always say, "Better now that I saw you," and that we're better together. And so I anointed him today. Keep him in your prayers. The sock man died. Do you know the sock man? McGee, Tom McGee. Tom McGee used to collect socks for people. He was very political too. He took his son to the inauguration of Jimmy Carter. He always politicked for the Democrat, though he was pro-life. And Jimmy Carter, I remember, was inaugurated in '76. That was the first year I voted. And I did his funeral yesterday, but I remember I voted for Ford, I think. A good Presbyterian like me, a good work ethic, You got to go that way. So, that's our country. Just the beauty, the freedom of our country. And I love it. I love this is my country. I love America. No matter what anyone does, I just hate it, like on Facebook, where people get mad and they turn the flag upside down or something like that because they don't like what Congress is doing or what the Supreme Court's doing or something like that. Yeah, to me, that's nonsense. To me, it's all my country 'tis of thee, or oh, beautiful for spacious skies. So I wore white today. I probably should wear green. I wore white just to celebrate our country. But the freedom we have is an image or a reflection of true freedom. True freedom is here, isn't it? True freedom is what our soul longs for. True freedom is what Jesus came to give us, and we'll hear it in our prayers all the time, and they'll use the word true freedom, because true freedom isn't license. Don't have a license to do whatever we want. True freedom is freedom from sin, freedom from bondage, freedom for excellence, freedom to do well. And so the image I always thought of was my son. Every one of them can play the piano, and I made sure of that. I made them take lessons until they were like 18, and some of them fought me a little bit on it, but when they get old enough, they can decide whether to quit or not. And they have true freedom to sit down at the piano and play. I was never given lessons. That's probably why I make my kids take them. I have like 7 kids in my family. I'm the only one my mom didn't give piano lessons to. And I like miss him, I guess. And so if I sit down at the piano, and I start trying to play, you'd say, Father, stop. That's not good. I don't have a freedom to play. I don't have a freedom for excellence. Do you see what I'm saying? And so what God gives us is a freedom for excellence, to be truly human, truly free. And our gospel talks about that today too. In the Gospel of Mark, remember, Jesus is what? The Son of God. And so it begins, the gospel of Jesus Christ, the Son of God. It ends with the centurion saying, truly this man is the Son of God. All through the gospel, people are saying, Jesus is the Son of God. Not this week. This week, not at all. He goes home. You think when he went home, the people he grew up with are like, hey, there he is, the Son of God. No, they're like, hey, there he is, Mary's son. Why is he acting like the Son of God? And they don't believe in him. And so the Gospel of Mark is all about Jesus going in the synagogue and just being revealed as the Son of God, and then people believe in him. They believe in who he really is, and knowing who he is, that sets him free. And so he's able to heal a man with a withered hand. He's able to heal someone who's possessed of a demon. He's able to heal a paralyzed man. And today he goes into the synagogue in his own hometown, and they don't believe who he is. And so do you remember what it says? He could do no mighty work there because they didn't believe. Our faith is a wonderful thing, and our doubt is a horrible sin because we don't believe God can't do mighty works among us. But when we believe, we say with Philippians, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Isn't that right? And God can do mighty works for us who believe. And so in the Gospel of Mark, it's all about what? Who Jesus is and knowing who he is, putting all our faith, all our trust in him. And his hometown wouldn't do it. They just wouldn't believe. They got stuck. They got stuck. Anyone ever get stuck? Yeah, it's not so surprising. We don't judge them, do we? We're like, oh yeah, I get that. I've been stuck. I've been full of doubt. I've had a place in my life where God could not do very many mighty works at all. Yeah, we've all been there. You know what? After this reading, after today's gospel, Jesus never goes back to the synagogue. Until now, all his ministry was done in the synagogue. But they just rejected him, just totally rejected him. And so from now on, he leaves his family, he leaves his town, and he starts a new family. And what is that new family? Us, those who believe. Whoever believes in him now becomes his brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, mothers and fathers. We now become a family of faith.